German ultranationalists are on the march, carrying the colors of Nazi Germany. There is fresh concern here that the neo-Nazi movement is growing again. 65 years after the Third Reich, the spirit of Adolf Hitler still lives in Germany. It's not a widespread movement, but the neo-Nazi movement still exists in small pockets all across this country. Hajo Funke is a neo-Nazi expert at the Free University of Berlin.
Young men are attracted because there are no alternatives in the village. There are only this group who are aggressive, who are male, chauvinist, and dominating the scene.
1 out of 20 15-year-old German boys belongs to a neo-Nazi group. That's more than belong to any other political party. One of those boys was Matthias Adrian.
I was a neo-Nazi 24 hours a day.
Adrian compares the movement to a cult and says he was convinced that Jews really were an evil force that controlled the world. He also says that neo-Nazi groups have hidden weapons caches all across the country. Now Adrian helps others leave the movement with a group called Exit Germany.
Our organization, Exit Germany, helps people to leave the right-wing extremist scene safely, because everybody who leaves the scene is a traitor in the eyes of neo-Nazis.
The legal and political arm of the neo-Nazi movement is the National Democratic Party, or NPD. The NPD did not agree to an interview with CBN News, but an NPD figure that left the party said the goal of the NPD is the restoration of the Third Reich. He said that members are trained to talk moderately in public, but privately praise Nazi Germany and the Holocaust. That was Adrian's experience.
We had schoolings about it, how to give quotes in public, how to do interviews with the media. No, we're not violent, we are nationalists, but we are not violent, we are the nice guys. In public they denied the Holocaust, but when the party members were together, they glorified it.
If you take into account also their presentations, their speeches, then they're outright anti-Semitic, anti-foreigner, racist, and in some cases against Muslim persons who are living here.
Official membership in neo-Nazi groups is only in the thousands, but the number of Germans who agree with some neo-Nazi ideas is much larger. There are reports that neo-Nazis are trying to run their own kindergartens in eastern Germany. And after recent gains in state elections by the NPD, there are new calls that the party be banned. The neo-Nazi movement is now trying to cash in on a new best-selling book called Germany Eliminates Itself, written not by a member of the far right, but by an official at Germany's central bank, Thilo Sarrazin. The book says Muslim and Turkish immigration is wrecking Germany. The far right has seized on the popularity of the book, saying Sarrazin is right. Why does the neo-Nazi movement persist in the richest, most successful nation in Europe and in a nation once wrecked by Nazi ideas? Jörg Drieselmann, a former political prisoner in the old East Germany, says overall Germans in the East resent being controlled by what he describes as a politically correct nanny state. Funke cites other reasons for the neo-Nazi movement.
Because the fragility of the democratic culture in Eastern Germany, because of some economic miseries, because of some educational miseries still, but there won't be a big success. It's on the sidelines. It's subculture.
While Adrian, who grew up in the American sector of West Germany, does not believe poverty has anything to do with it. But the fact that the neo-Nazi movement is still around means that everyone is not happy living in Europe's wealthiest nation. Dale Hurd, CBN News.